All right, what's going on, you guys? Welcome back. This is Mike or Geekerman, and today we're going to be talking about a very popular topic on the YouTube platform, and that is thumbnails. Now, as most of you guys know, you could have the best content in the world. If you're an up-and-coming creator, you could make the most engaging video of all time. But if you don't do a good job with your thumbnail and your title, you're probably going to have a hard time luring people in to watch the video. What you want to do is find a nice balance in that sweet spot between clickbait and too honest and boring. If you look at most big-time YouTubers, and especially if we come down to their best performing videos in the past 50, what you'll notice about this is that most of these videos have a title that's a little bit more edgy, could be considered clickbait. Like, do we really think this game is too scary for Tim? I doubt it. But it piques your interest. It engages you in a way where you want to learn more. After 24 hours, I finally did it. Did what? I gotta click on it. I gotta figure out what's going on. It turns out it's just another Tim the Tap Man video. But what you do is you create an engaging title, you create an engaging thumbnail, you bring in the audience, and then you follow it with the content. If your content does not back up your title and your thumbnail, it's immediately considered clickbait. There are times where you'll see YouTubers do this. $10,000 CSGO case. They no longer show the dislikes, but I bet you this video, unless he actually is showing $10,000, this video probably has more dislikes and a slightly lower watch time. So you have to toe the line, and it will take some practice. Let's go over here and look at Ali A. He is the master of this. Surprisingly enough, he's only posted 17 videos in the past 28 days, but still, look at this daily earnings. What an absolute mad lad. I also love his most recent tags. Check this out. Fortnite, Ali A. That man knows what he's about. All right, so take a look at this first title. 1.2 million views 1 month ago. Over 1 million views in a 10-minute video literally 4 weeks ago. How did he do it? After 1,500 days, I logged in. You're telling me he hasn't played Fortnite in 5 years? But if we were to open this up, I bet you it's an account that he found, Ali A on Switch, that he hadn't touched in a couple 4 years ago, and it creates the prime content. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to be clickbaiting your audience. You don't want to be letting down your audience. That is how you end up over here on the right side with the worst performing videos. But you do want exciting titles that are going to make people click, and then when they land on your video, you want your content to live up to those titles and provide the value to your viewers. That is how you create a healthy relationship with your current audience while also reaching new people. It's a balance to strike, and I will tell you, it's going to take some time for you to master. One last channel to look at, one I've shown in previous videos, FaZe Jev. He does a great job of this. If you look at his videos, the new camo grind has changed everything. 500,000 views. Now, this is probably just a basic Call of Duty video where he's running around shooting people and talking about it. I mean, in this video, I don't even think he plays the game until literally 8 minutes into the video. That's crazy. But what you'll find is that the comment section is not bothered. That is why monitoring your click-through rate, reading your comments, getting feedback from your audience, all of these things are going to help you polish and produce the best videos that you can. So now that I've given you a rundown on kind of the history of titles and thumbnails, we are going to hop over into Photoshop, and I am going to show you guys how I make a YouTube thumbnail. I'm going to try to keep this as brief as possible, as fast as possible, and as chock full of information as possible. But before we jump in, I do want to plug my new website, My Creator Insights. The goal for this website is to be a suite of tools, the ultimate toolbox for any content creator looking to grow. All Patreon members get access, so check out the link in the description. The videos here on the YouTube channel are free, but in addition to all of these things listed on the left side, you also get access to an exclusive Discord server where you can ask me questions, you get early viral trend alerts for your content that you're trying to make, and things like real-time feedback on your title and your thumbnail, which honestly, beyond practice, feedback is the other incredible mechanism to improving your process. So check it out. It's $10 a month, but in my opinion, what you get is priceless when it comes to creating content. I also built this website myself, so I'm very proud of it, okay? All right, so this is my saved template. We are gonna start fresh today. If you've got Photoshop open, you can follow along. You're gonna go up and hit File New. What you wanna do for thumbnails is go 1920 by 1080. That's going to give you that 9:16, the beautiful ratio. If we come back over here to YouTube, it's what you see right here. I got some good faces in my thumbnails. I'm getting distracted. The other thing that I usually change is I like to bump the resolution, pixels per inch, all the way up to 300. All right, here we are, blank slate. What do we do? What's the play? Well, the first thing you're going to want to do, Window, Workspace, Essentials, Default. This is what I use. If you guys want, you can build a custom layout, but what I really like is to have the layers over here on the right, all the tools on the left. Keep it simple, stupid. That's the kiss, and that is the key to content creation. All right, so I went over to one of the last thumbnails I made for the Geekermon channel. If you come over to the channel, it's the last video 4 months ago. But the reason I'm showing this to you guys is if you come down to the bottom of my layers, what you'll notice is a whole lot of background layers that I can cycle through. You can tell all of these are a decent starting point. So to be honest with you guys, the background is kind of the easiest step. What you want to do is get a number. I mean, I have 4 or 5 for my Destiny channel that I used to cycle through, but I'll tell you, what you want to do is build a template. Everything in content creation is about building frameworks and foundations that will speed up your process. All right, so I'm going to do Apex Legends background. I'm going to scroll through and look for something that I can throw behind a wide variety of content. You may want to come and get a different background photo for every single video, but at least have a baseline or a few that you can work off of because it'll save you time in the long term. All right, so I'm going to use this one. I feel like this one has kind of a happy vibe. The colors are bright. You can do a lot. I can throw a lot of character layers over it. So I'm going to right click on this, copy the image, come back over to my Photoshop and paste it in. Now, if I grab the toolbar and drag this up just enough to be able to fit everything, we now have the background for our thumbnail. This looks perfect, but I will say looks a little bit dull. How do we fix this? All right, come up top, filter, camera raw filter. This has got to be my favorite thing in Photoshop. I know there's all the generative AI, but as a thumbnail creator, the camera raw filter is the #1 feature. All right, so what I usually like to do, and what most YouTubers do, is they're gonna bump the exposure up, they're gonna bring the shadows and the blacks down a little bit, creates a little more contrast between the light and the dark, drag the saturation up until you just can't take it anymore. And I will say for the background, don't be afraid to go heavier. You don't wanna go heavy on the characters in the foreground or on your shocked face in the thumbnail, but with the background you can go a little bit heavier on the saturation. Let's make it a little bit cooler, tint it away a little bit. I think that I like this about right there. All right, that is perfect. That's a good starting point. And look at the difference it already made. Oh my. Now, what I'll probably do even is get rid of the dark on the bottom, get a little more sky in the thumbnail. Perfect. I mean, honestly, we're halfway there. Now, the next thing you can do, look at my face cam right here. You see me? Perfect, is pose. Make a note to pose at the end of filming your video. So when you finish and you're like, thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe, which pause. Have you yet? Trying to hit 2,000 subscribers. Smack that subscribe button. But at the end of your video, it's good to have a to-do list of things that you're trying to accomplish. So what I usually think about is what was the mood of the video I just filmed, and then how can I recreate that in the thumbnail? So with this, I had a great time playing Apex Legends. It was an absolute blast. And so the thumbnail can be something where I'm looking over at a character, I'm kind of visualizing it, and I'm like, or I don't know, so you can do a couple of faces, you can even do a few, and then watch back through and screenshot your favorite one. So I have come down here and I have screenshot a face. This was from an old Destiny video that I filmed a while back. Look at that face. I mean, just perfect. All right, so now I am gonna show you guys how to crop yourself out in 1 second. Like the old school me, this is what I used to do, is the lasso tool, and then I would follow the line along, and I would spend like 15 minutes at much greater detail, cropping myself out of it. This was like 2016, Mike. We don't do that anymore, all right? Now what we do is we come here and we right click on the magic wand and we do object selection. And then you click on yourself and you let AI, the computers, whoever it might be, take the lead. This has got to be one of my favorite features. It's incredible. Then you're going to go Control J. I told you guys I would have the overlay for my clicks, and I don't, but it's fine. Also, what is going on here? You can barely, okay. This is my 3rd video on the channel. Leave me alone. All right, so what we did is we hit Control J, now bam. That's it. That's it. How crazy is that? Now, I will say, look at me right now. I'm wearing a white shirt and the background's dark. It helps if there's a lot of contrast, but I will say this tool works pretty well despite what the background might be. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. We are gonna click V and drag our character over. So what I'll tell you guys is if you come up here and you hit View, and then you go down to Guides, and then you hit New Guide Layout. What I like to do is 4 columns across with a 0 gutter, and it lets me have an idea of kind of 25, 25, 25% of the screen. And so what I wanna do is I usually like to line my face up right on that left 25%, kind of somewhere around there. All right, so now what's next? Well, you can hit Control H and you can get rid of the guides. Love that feature. And then you're gonna right click on your layer over here on the right that's got my face. This is the layer. And then you're gonna hit blending options. And you will either want to add a drop shadow, which will look something like that behind your character, and you can change it. You could have it be kind of a sharp drop shadow, or you can do a little bit more of a fade behind you, but it gives a little bit of that 3D depth to your face. Or you can do an outer glow. Some people will do a stroke like this. You'll see that from time to time. Like if I come back over to my creator insights here, and I look back at FaZe Jev, what you'll notice, look in FaZe Jev's videos, see the white line around the outside that he's got? He does the stroke on the outside. So you have to figure out what works best for you. I am always a fan of the drop shadow or the outer glow. Both of these are usually great options. Put them right in the middle there. Right in the middle there. You can copy these settings. Pause the video and you can copy these settings. The outer glow is fun as well. So take your pick. I'm going to do the drop shadow for today's video. I'm going to probably pull this out and pull that down right there. Perfect. All right, so I'm just walking you through it. I'm trying to stay fast with this. I don't want this video to be too long, but what you're gonna wanna do next is go back to the camera raw filter. You go filter, camera raw. I haven't learned the keyboard shortcut even though I use it every day. And what you're gonna wanna do with Facecam to recreate kind of that allié, again, coming back over to my creator insights, see how his face light, like that's not his natural eye color, okay? There is some things done in Photoshop to his face to make it more engaging and more clickable. And so what I normally do is you're gonna bump the exposure up just a tiny bit, bring the shadows down. I like to add a tiny bit of warmth to the photo. And then I personally, because I'm using a Canon T6i from 2016, I like to up the clarity just a tiny bit and see the line. It almost makes me look like a YouTube cartoon, right? It's kind of interesting. Like this is me as a YouTube cartoon. So I like to find the middle ground and then up the saturation a tiny bit to bring some color back to me. I might even go a little bit warmer, maybe right there. I don't want to go too green with the color though. Something around, you know, play with it till you're happy with it, but something about like that. I do think the dark needs to be a little bit darker. That is perfect. Okay, look at the difference that makes. It just adds a layer of life. It adds a layer of life. I love it. All right, so then what you want to do, so this is a key thing, as you're building a thumbnail, hold control and you can hit the minus button on your keyboard to zoom out. It's very important that you zoom out like this often when you're making a thumbnail. It's good to work at full scale like this, but that's not what people see on their phone. What they see is this. And so when you're deciding is my face big enough, what you want to do is zoom out to here, and if the answer is no, then you'll know. You know, that's the key. It's like right here, that feels about right. So I'll probably come over a little bit. Right there. Perfect. All right, we're getting close. To be totally honest with you, I do think there's a little bit of green. Let me go back to camera raw. This is what you're gonna wanna do, iterate. Iterate, baby. So I'm gonna go a little less green on it. Give me a little more purple in my color. Perfect. That's perfect. All right, so now I'm gonna add a couple more things. I am gonna add Diva from Overwatch just because we have an Apex background, we might as well. And a pro tip, when you're here in Google Images and you're looking for thumbnail images, you click the tools right underneath the search bar and you're gonna click the color and then you're gonna click transparent. What this does is it shows all of the images that are PNGs or transparent images. So what you can do, scroll through here until you find one that you like. Also, the amount of anime art for Diva is crazy. All right, so we're gonna go with this one right here. We'll copy the image. All right, now we're gonna open it up here. Bada bing, bada boom. Move it behind me, move it over to this 25%. I mean, we're basically done. We're almost there. Now, you'll notice the colors don't match, right? And the background seems more and more bland the more colorful stuff we put in front of it. But what I wanna do, again, is come filter, camera raw. I'm gonna try to keep it snappy and keep it quick here. I might even cut it a little bit. Bring the exposure up, bring the shadows down. I also really want to move it away because the rest of the image is not so pink. Probably about right there, looks perfect. All right, that's much better. Gonna come in, add a little outer glow behind it, and then I do think I probably want to up the saturation just a little bit, keep it super colorful. All right, honestly, we're getting close. I like it. So last thing I'll probably want to do, let me get rid of the guard there and just see. This is looking pretty good. Next, I wanna grab the Apex Legends text. I'm probably gonna put this up in the corner. If we drag the Apex Legends image in here, we probably wanna go blending options, add a white color overlay. That way it's a little bit easier to read. Let's shrink it way down and put it up towards the corner. All right, so we're gonna rearrange our layers just a little bit. We got Apex Legends in the corner, so we know what game is being referenced. We got our Diva layer, and then we've got our self. And so you can tell the clarity on me is a little bit higher than the Diva, but what we're gonna do to really make the character pop is come back here to the background layer. And then you're gonna go filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Now, what this will do is it will really start to blur out the background. You can tell if I go really high with it, look how blurry the background is. I usually like to bring it up to where you know that's a little bit blurry in the background, but you're still aware of what it is. It draws the focus back towards the front. I do think we need to come back to the raw filter here on Diva, make her a little bit less purple. I know it's her color, but I'm just trying to her clarity up a little bit, sharpen her a little bit, and bring the blacks down just a little bit more. That way it's not quite as washed out. I might even, for this thumbnail, make myself a tiny bit larger. And honestly, I'm super happy with this thumbnail. The one thing I probably do is test out going filter and making the background a little more colorful. Like I said at the beginning, you always have it less, and then as you bump it up, this looks perfect. This is near something that I would post right here. I probably would mess with the color scale a little bit till I was happy. And the one thing you could do is add in some text. So the last thing that we're gonna talk about, text. All right, let's get rid of her and let's get rid of the background. And I wanna show you guys a couple of fonts that I would recommend using. All right, so I typed up the word incredible. What we're gonna do is just bring it up across the entire thing because I wanna show you guys something. There's a few key things when you're doing text that you wanna be aware of. One is the drop shadow. Do not be afraid to use the drop shadow. Look how much easier it is to read that thumbnail. You can also use 2 drop shadows and you can make one super sharp, something like this, and then you can have the second drop shadow be that softer blur in the background. So don't be afraid to stack on those. It makes a huge difference. When you're trying to choose fonts, here's the ones that I would recommend, okay? If I were making a thumbnail, and I do, these are what I use. Rajdhani is an incredible one. It's very sleek looking. If I were to put her here and then kind of center her underneath this, I just love the way that this looks. It's blocky, it's easy to read. You can zoom all the way out with it and still see what's going on. So you can download that font for free. The others that I would use, Babasnu, incredible. Look at this thing. You can bulk it up a little bit to about right here, easy to read. I'm actually gonna get rid of her so we can fully see the thumbnails. So that is Babasnu Bold. I'll let you see it one more time right there if you wanna try that one out. The other really popular one for YouTubers, I'm giving you guys all the YouTuber secrets here, the Impact font. Impact is a good one, look at that. Blocky, again, easy to read, easy to know what's going on. What else do we have? The others that I use, Futura is cool. It's a little bit thin for my taste, but some people absolutely love it. This is Futura. You can go into the properties. I'm gonna show you how to do that real quick. So hit T on the keyboard, highlight your text, and then right up here, this little block, hit that, and you can change how far apart the letters are with this VA distance right here. You can change vertically how far apart your paragraphs are. You can make it italics, you can bold it. There's a lot of stuff you can do with this paragraph tooling. You can figure out how wide you want the letters to be. Like, there's a lot of options, all right? All right, we're running out of time. Let me show you guys a couple more fonts real fast. The other one is Nurito. This one I absolutely love. If you like a more rounded look, I would definitely recommend this one. What I like to do is come into the properties and make it a little bit less wide. Maybe go back to like 100% here. It just looks good. I like that font a lot. So that one is called Nunito. That's a good one. And then the last one I want to show you guys, I don't have it downloaded on this computer, but I use it on my laptop all the time, is called Trip Sans Serif. This font is very modern, great for subtitles in your videos. Would definitely recommend you guys check this one out. I do think it's free for personal, but you can buy the license here. Big fan of Trip Sans. Not affiliated with them, just a big fan. But I hope you guys found this video helpful. This is how most YouTubers go through their process, and practice makes perfect. So start making thumbnails, see what you guys come up with. Feel free to tag me on Twitter at Geekermon. If you're a Patreon member, please take advantage of the thumbnail feedback. You'll get some incredible feedback on your thumbnails, help you improve your videos, help you guys grow, because my goal is to make you the next 1 million subscriber channel. That's it for today. Thank you guys for all the love. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new and you want to learn more. Check out my website, My Creator Insights. The link will be down in the description, and I will catch you guys in the next video, in the next how-to guide. And I will catch you guys in the next video. We got a lot of cool topics coming up. We're gonna be talking monetization. I'm gonna be analyzing real-time statistics from a video I just posted. Lots and lots of exciting stuff. So I hope to catch you guys there. Thanks for watching. Peace.